Hello friends, welcome back to my channel Trader's Destination. This is a remake of a already existing video, the very first strategy that I shared in YouTube with you all, awesome Nifty strategy, the English version of this. I have been receiving various requests from people from especially the southern part of India who are not so comfortable understanding Hindi, that if the same version can be dubbed in the form of English in English, so that it will be easier for them to understand. And hence, my friends, it's a much awaited video. I took a bit of time in like trying to make it in English, because I was actually tied up with lot of work, and I was traveling also in the meanwhile, and hence I could not record it for you all. My apologies to you all, but at the same time, better late than never. So hence, here it comes, awesome Nifty strategy for you all. Friends, when I started this channel, like this channel Traders Destination, it was started around 3 months back, exactly around 3 months back from now. And in these 3 months, when I first published a very normal version, a very like a very toned down version of the awesome Nifty strategy, I myself did not had this idea that it's going to create a storm in the YouTube. Because what I'm seeing now, people started copying it like anything. There are people who are copying my do kadam strategy. There are people who are copying my awesome Nifty strategy, my SBI strategy, all the strategies, whichever is there, people are just coming, copying it, publishing in their own channels. They are starting their own channels, like that, like many people are doing that. There are other people who provide, like paid strategies to people. They charge money from people, and in return of that, they share their like the premium kind of strategies. Those people are also copying my strategy, and I got to know, because I have a YouTube is a big family that I have of 11,000 people right now. Plus I have a Telegram channel where all the learners, the traders of various like various expertise, various levels, they join together, and we all trade together, we all try to learn and analyze the chart together. So there also I get to know that like there are many people who keep on doing this kind of things. My only request to you all friends, whoever is viewing this video right now, please, if you are paying anybody for something, please just give a second thought into it. Because you never know that if you are paying something to someone, that person is actually copying it from somewhere else or not. And I will feel bad that if you end up paying money to someone else for watching my video, which I am giving for free. Anyways, choice is yours. Be a little more informed, browse a little more in YouTube before you actually get into any kind of like this kind of people who try to fool you. Okay, so with that, let me straight away come to awesome Nifty strategy. Why awesome? It's awesome because it indicates an early entry and a late exit. And hence, if you are getting an early indication of entry, late indication of exit, it will definitely maximize your profit. So the basic things is like it's a little bit of complex kind of a setup. It's not a simple range break kind of a setup. So you have to be a little more seasoned. You have to know stock market a bit more. You have to understand charts. Only after that, probably you will be able to take easy trade using this strategy. So what is needed in this? A 15 minutes candlestick. Okay, so if you are referring to this screen, look towards the left hand side. I am calling out what is needed, and look towards the right hand side. In the chart over here, the indicators will come. An awesome indicator. So awesome oscillator is the name of the indicator, AO. That's what I call. Whatever you are seeing over there in a form of a column, red and green column, that is called awesome oscillator. So you have to select awesome oscillator on its default settings. ADX is a You have, again, it comes with the default setting of 14 and 14. You have to select ADX. Basically ADX comes in a format of a plus DI and minus DI line. So if you are using the AFYERS platform, over there the name of ADX is not ADX, it is DMI. Okay, so if you are using that, you can so as okay, I will not explain it right now. When I will come to the chart, I will probably explain you that what it signifies and how you have to read it. The fourth indicator is the RSI, Relative Strength Index. Again, the same period will be 14, overbought and oversold region will be 65 and 35. By default, whichever platform you use Zerodha, you use AFYERS or Upstocks, the default value it comes with is 30 and 70. You have to modify it to 65 and 35. The next is a simple moving average of 50 period. Okay, and the most essential part of this strategy is pivot points, and that pivot point will not be a standard pivot point, it has to be of Fibonacci type. Okay, so now if you're referring to the right hand side diagram that I'm showing, you can actually relate to whatever indicator I have called out in the left, and which indicator will like resemble which thing in the chart. So if you actually have a look at it, you will be easily able to map it. So at the end of the day, when you will be setting up the chart, this is something it is going to look like. Okay, and at the last but not the least, the volume underlay is something which is also essential. Now, why this kind of a complex setup is needed, friends? Because like Awesome Nifty strategy is something, I mean, this strategy is something which had given me more than 150% return month on month over a period of 12 months. Okay, so hence I named it as awesome. And why it became awesome, the reason being that this is a strategy which satisfies the trend, the momentum, the sentiment, and definitely the volume. So what I understand is, whenever you are doing any trade, so some people go with the trend because there is a famous saying in the market that if you're going with the trend, you are going to make profit. Some people go with the volume, some people go with the momentum, some people go with the sentiment. This strategy satisfies each and every aspect, and hence the accuracy level is quite high. By accuracy level is quite high, I mean it's in a range of 70% to 80% accurate. And the pros and cons of this strategy is, you have to actually, the pro definitely is it's a good strategy which gives good return, but the flip side of it is you have to actually observe this strategy every 15 minutes. You have to have that much time starting 9:45 till the evening, I mean till 3:15 p.m. Okay, so that's Awesome Nifty strategy setup. Now let me call out that what are the conditions. So as per Awesome Nifty strategy, there are 4 conditions. I called it out as C1, C2, C3, C4, because if you are part of my Telegram channel, or if you have observed any of the videos that I have already uploaded in partly in English, partly in Hindi, you would see that I call out the situations as per condition 1, as per condition 2. So what are those conditions? These are the conditions, friends. Okay, when am I going to buy as per Awesome Nifty strategy? I am going to buy when there is a green candle. Okay, as I speak, refer to the right hand side diagram that I am showing. Whenever there is a green candle, a green price candle is formed above 50 moving average line. That blue line you are seeing is the 50 moving average line. At the same time, the awesome oscillator candle is also green with the value of more than plus 10 or less than minus 10. Okay, that's the point which will give me both the color also same. So what are the checks that I do? I am checking that the green candle is formed above a 50 moving average line. Awesome oscillator candle color is also green. The value should be more than plus 10 or less than minus 10. And also, if you're seeing the plus DI line in the DI index, the plus DI line, that is the green line, it should be on the top. Value of RSI should be between 35 and 65. If that is a situation, if these conditions are getting satisfied, then I am going to make a buy entry right at the beginning of the next candle. As you were seeing, I have identified those spots where I'm going to actually get into the buy price. And for me, the target is going to be, there are two targets as per this strategy. Okay, target one is going to be your topmost resistance line, that is R3. Okay, if you are on the sell side, the S3 is going to be your target. What is going to be a stop loss? Stop loss is the day, the candle, the first candle of the day minus rupees 5. You have to keep a buffer of 5 rupees, and 5 rupees below the bottom, below the low of the first candle is where you have to place the stop loss. Okay, now whenever this kind of situation gets satisfied, your resistance 3 becomes your topmost, the topmost resistance lines becomes your target 1. Target 2 definitely is 3:15 p.m. See, there is a catch, friend. Like, if you have actually gone through my videos over last 3 months, whatever I have published in as a daily review, if you actually have gone through that, there I have mentioned there will be situations in which, like, say for example, the first candle is formed, and the candle after the first candle is formed, the price broke the low of the first candle, it came down, and after that it gave a signal towards the buy side. So if that kind of a situation happens, then what you have to do is you have to consider the low of the day and place 5 rupees below the low of the day. That's how you should be trading with. What is condition 2? Condition 2 is a very simple kind of a condition. I call it as a 3G. Some people call it as a, by the technical terms, you mean people call it as a 3 white soldiers. So whenever you will see this kind of a pattern, whenever you will see there are 3 green candles and the closing value, not the high, the closing value of these 3 green candles are one above the other. Whenever this kind of a 3 green candle formation happens with the RSI value between 30 and 70, okay, I repeat, RSI should be between 30 and 70, not between 35 and 65. Whenever this kind of a setup happens, you can actually enter into a buy trade. Again, definitely if it is above 50 moving average, it means a buy. Below 50 moving average, it means a sell. And one additional thing that you have to definitely check along with that is the volume. Okay, so if you're looking into the volume candle over here, the box which with the dotted border and the arrow, here you can see that the volume is in an upward trend. So whenever you are watching the candles by condition 2, you have to keep this in mind that there has to be 3 green candles for which the closing value should be one above the other, higher on high. And for those 3 candles, the arrow, basically the trend of the volume should be in an increasing trend. If that satisfies, if that happens, then only you can enter into a buy trade. Not necessarily you have to take a buy trade if you are seeing 3 green candles. Okay, please listen to it very carefully. If you are seeing 3 green candles formed, and after that, I mean, for those 3 green candles, definitely the volume is something that you have to see, which is also in an upward trend. After that, if the price doesn't break the high of the 3, rather it breaks the low of the this 3 candles range, then also you can enter into a short sell kind of a trade. All that you have to keep in mind is, see, the distance from the R3. So whenever you're entering into this kind of a trade, whenever you are having 3 green candles, what is going to be your target? Target is going to be 1:1. But before that 1:1, if your R3 comes, or before that 1:1, your 50 moving average line comes, then that becomes the target. So if that becomes the target, then you have to take care of your money management. You have to take care of the risk to reward ratio. In a no given situation, I would recommend you to actually get into a trade where the risk to reward ratio is less than 0.5:1. Sorry, I mean 1:0.5. So what I mean is, you are taking a risk of 20 points for a reward of 10 points. Up to that you can go down. Below that you should not take a trade, then it becomes a gambling. Okay, and that is also advisable for risky traders. If you are a safe trader, then if you are trying to avoid this kind of a situation, if you are trying to only get into the trade which is at least 1:1, go for it. It's nothing wrong. And I think if you follow my Hindi videos also, they also have repeatedly said this time and again, that there is nothing wrong in stock market and there is nothing right in stock market. Okay, and at the same time, there is everything right and everything is wrong. Okay, because like there are various ways you observe the charts. It's like a painting. Candlesticks or maybe technical charts are like the paintings. By looking at the paintings, every different individual will have their own different views. Okay, if you look at the cloud, I may think it like just a cloud, but a person might think it like a animal flying over there. Okay, a technical chart is also something like that. I may think something to be right, you may think something to be wrong, but the logic has to be at its own place. If my logic is correct and I have that much confidence to justify what I am saying, then I am good to go with it. Okay, so I hope you are okay with these two conditions. Now let me come to the sell side of the trade. So whenever you are actually getting into the buy side of the trade, it's confirmed. Now for selling side also, there are two conditions. As I mentioned that there has to be a candle like you have seen in C1. In C1, what you have seen, that there was a price candle green in color, awesome candle also green in color. Similarly, for short sell also, there has to be a price candle red in color. Along with that, there has to be an awesome candle which is also should be red in color. Okay, awesome candle means awesome oscillator candle. So if both these two candles are red in color at the same time, what we have to see is, in a most ideal situation, the thumb rule is below 50 moving average line we are going to make short sell, above 50 moving average line I'm going to make a buy. So if it is below 50 moving average line and the red candle, the red awesome candle and the red price candle is also there, and also in the ADX the minus DA line is on top, plus RSI value is between 35 and 65. If all this condition satisfies, then only you can enter into a short sell. Where you have to make that short sell, exactly the candle, the moment you are getting that confirmation candle, the next candle, at the starting of the next candle, you don't have to wait for a range break. Okay, so this is condition 3. But as per condition 4, as I called out in my previous slide, if you have seen that there has to be three candles, basically 3 green candles. Similarly, if you are seeing the condition 4, there has to be 3 red candles. It can be red candle, it can be 3 green candle also, doesn't matter. The color of the candles doesn't matter when it comes to 3 candles. By doesn't matter, it means it has to be of the same color. It should not be like one candle is red, the next candle is green, the third candle is red, then you are considering it. That you should not consider. You have to consider either 3 green candles or 3 red candles for which the closing value is one above the other, and for those 3 candles the volume should be in an increasing trend. Exactly the thing that I am showing over here. Okay, whenever this kind of a thing happens, you can actually enter into a short sell. I mean, whichever direction the range breaks, be it on upside or be it on the downside, you can enter into that kind of a trade. Now, as I mentioned in the C1 and C2, I mean in the C2 in the previous slide, that whenever you are entering into this kind of a trade, your first target becomes, in a most ideal situation, 1:1 is your target. But if the 50 moving average line or R3 or S3, whichever applicable, comes in on your way, then in that case that becomes your target. Okay, and for risky traders, they can actually enter keeping in mind that that's your target one, and you can after that definitely trail with stop loss. So these are the conditions to enter into a trade. Now, as per awesome Nifty strategy, as I told you that you can enter into whichever condition happens first, but look at the example that I have shown in this specific day on the right hand side. You have actually entered into the trade by looking at the 3 red candles. Okay, so the 7th, 8th and the 9th candle of the day are the 3 red candles which actually give you a signal to enter into a short sell side. But as you are into the short sell side and till the time your target is not achieved, you got a second confirmation when this other red candle gets formed. When this red candle gets formed, you can see it very clearly that you can actually it becomes a C3 kind of a setup. Okay, so condition 3 happens. So when condition 3 happens, this gives you a double confirmation that again a second trade is also happening on the card. So you are not supposed to exit the first trade and enter into a second trade, rather continue the first trade that you are already in. So in that manner you will be able to maximize your profit. Okay, so now there are a couple of other conditions as well. Like by other conditions I mean the exit conditions. Okay, there are 5 conditions to be precise, using which you should be able to exit from the trade. The first one is quite simple. If you are achieving the target or 3:15 p.m, whichever is coming first, you can definitely exit. On hitting a stop loss, yeah, definitely, if your stop loss is getting hit before any of the criteria, you are definitely moving out of the trade. On achieving whatever is the target, 1:1 or the third candle range break, whatever you are doing, again that's a third condition for exit. Fourth and fifth condition are most essential. Okay, just have a look at this kind of a setup. Now say for example you are into a trade, and after that trade you are seeing this kind of, so you're into a short sell side of a trade. So say for example you made a short sell, okay, in whichever candle you got as a confirmation candle, basis that by looking at the candle you made a short sell. After that, if you are getting 5 non-consecutive green setup, basically 5 non-consecutive reverse setup if you are getting, then you are supposed to make an exit at the end of the 5th candle. You can exit there or you can modify your stop loss there. Choice is yours. Okay, similarly, if you're on the buy side of the trade and you are getting 5 non-consecutive red setup, again red means red price candle and red awesome candle, then you are supposed to make an exit at the end of the 5th one. Okay, now this is about the non-consecutive things. In case if you are getting 3 consecutive setups, then also you are supposed to make an exit, either a 3 consecutive reverse setup or 5 non-consecutive reverse setup. So keep this thing in mind before you are actually entering into a trade. You should actually keep this in mind, or else you should not enter into a trade. Okay, now whichever condition happens last, that's the time when you are going to exit from the trade. As I told you in the beginning of this video, friends, that awesome Nifty strategy is a strategy, and first of all, yeah, this is applicable to Nifty only. You can actually apply this strategy for crude as well as gold and silver. Okay, but the setup has to be changed for that. Very soon I'm going to release one more version of this video, both as usual in English and Hindi, where I will call out how you will be able to use this strategy in commodities as well. I'm seeing many people copying my strategy and they are trying to run it in crude, saying that it's going to work in crude. They are so lame people that they are not even changing the name of the strategy. They are calling it awesome. Just they have picked it from here. But they are showing a wrong setup, which I can guarantee you that it's not going to work in crude. So friends, if you have come across any strategy in YouTube which shows a similar kind of a setup and which promises that it's going to work in commodities, please don't look into it, because if I have created this strategy, I know what are the loopholes over here and where it works and in which way it will work better. So even if you're coming across any such strategy, choice is yours, you're going to follow it or not. But wait for a while. Soon I'm going to come up with the commodity strategy, especially for gold, silver and crude, where a little bit tweaked version of this awesome Nifty strategy is going to help you a lot. Okay friends, so that's all for this strategy. Nothing more I would like to call out. In the next part of this video, I will actually show you how using AFYERS platform you are going to set this up, because I'm sure you all know by now that Traders Destination is the official channel partner of AFYERS Securities, and hence I would encourage you all to use that platform because it's more robust and it actually gives you lot of benefits, like in terms of the chart accuracy. You will be able to see last 20 years of data for analysis. There are various other aspects over there, and definitely if you are joining fire securities through Traders Destination, there is a small bouquet of benefits that we also provide you. Apart from this channel, we also have this forum, which is a Traders Destination forum. It's for learning purpose only. We don't believe in providing any sorts of tips, and be informed that I myself is not a SEBI registered trader. Whatever I do are basis my observation and basis my own experience only. So we have launched various strategies. Awesome Nifty strategy is one, Do Kadam strategy is the second one, which is for working professionals. For SBI, we have launched one 10-15 minutes strategy, and another strategy on State Bank of India, which is called uh, I will not disclose it right now. Watch out, it's going to come soon in immediate next week, where the where you will be able to actually trade using that strategy. BN11 is also launched. Futuristic beginner is one of the workshop that I conduct for beginners. Basically, in that futuristic beginner session, I give 3 strategies for free, and those are the strategies which they can use. And for using those strategies, they would need to use Excel sheets also. So I teach them how you can use simple Excel sheets in identifying stocks for the day, and then you can actually go ahead and trade with it. Plus, in the futuristic beginner webinar, basically the futuristic beginner training, I teach them how to understand candlesticks, and there are various other things. So if you're interested, you can actually send a message to this number 8104641995. It's kept with the lady named Maithili. Maithili supports me in the day-to-day activity of Traders Destination, so she will be able to help you with all the queries. Keep watching this video. The next part of this video is going to be how you can set the chart up in FIRES platform and how you can actually go ahead with the trade. This is the FIRES platform, and as you all know that Traders Destination is the official channel partner of FIRES Securities. So how to set up the Awesome Nifty strategy is something which I'm going to show you. The moment when you log into FIRES platform, this is the web platform that I'm showing, and I really like the web platform over the app or the desktop version, which is called FIRES 1. There is a reason behind it, because if you use this web platform, you'll be actually able to like place order on the chart, and it becomes very easy and very convenient for you to see where the price is moving and how it is moving and where your stop loss is. Okay, so that for that you can definitely watch the live video that I have already uploaded in my channel. But let me first tell you that how you can set up the Awesome Nifty setup using the FIRES platform. There are plenty ample number of indicators, various things are there. Okay, so the very first thing is you have to first do it in Nifty futures, the current month's future. Okay, so this is July, the July contract is running, so you have to select Nifty July contract and then you have to see it in a 15 minutes time frame. I like the bar version instead in over the candle, but for this strategy you can use whichever beta candle, beta bar, whatever gives you happiness, you can use that. Now I am just placing, so this is not a part of the strategy, but yeah, this is something like that. You can actually place the day divider. If you place the day divider, it becomes really neat for you to actually see how the different days are. Now what are the indicators that you need for Awesome Nifty strategy? Definitely by default volume is over here. You can select the volume as usual, not a problem in that. 15 minutes candlestick is also there. Go to the indicators, write RSI. You have to have a RSI, relative strength index, RSI indicator. Over here you can see a format option is there. Click over here, the window will open, and over here you can actually play with the settings. I usually use this kind of colors. I put green on the upper limit, I put red on the lower limit. Instead of dashed line, I take a proper line. And see, if you're looking into this RSI, look at the curves over here. It becomes curvy like this, it becomes sharp rises like this. This comes when you're using the line kind of a setup. Instead of line, if you use the step line, see, that's the difference. If you're using a step line, it gives you the exact value over there. It looks like a step, and that gives you a more accurate reading. Okay, so this is the setup that I would recommend. If you are using any of the setup, you should do that. And as I mentioned, that the values over here will be 35 and 65. You can actually play with it. Okay, RSI is done. Next setup is moving average. Just write moving average. This is moving average. By default, you will get a value that is of 9 period, which comes here. Just change 9 to 50. You are done. Definitely there are a few more indicators because it's not a easy setup. It's a little complex kind of a strategy. Awesome oscillator, and hence the name awesome Nifty. So this is that awesome oscillator, and you have to take the default value. You have to take ADX. ADX, if you're using a Zerodha platform, the name of the indicator is ADX. If you're using AFYERS, over here the name of the indicator is directional movement, so you have to select directional movement. Okay, let me close this. I need to play with this setup a little. AO, by default it will look like this. You click on this format button over here. From histogram, change it to columns. Okay, so AO will look like a column. It will be more easy for you to read if you're doing it. DMI, again DMI will be the basic setup where you can take 1414. You need not touch the setup. You can definitely change the color. So what I always say is, if plus DI is green in color, minus DI is red in color, you need not look at ADX line over here. Okay, so you can just remove this. Just over here, instead of, there is a check mark, right? You can see, so uncheck it. Okay, so you will be able to see only plus DI and minus DI. So like this, you are done with these three setups. The last thing remaining is the pivot point. I know there are few people who uses FIRES platform for quite some time, and earlier in FIRES platform there was no pivot point, but now it is introduced thanks to Tejas, because it's one of the asks that I have asked him when I was there in Bangalore when I went to meet him. Pivot point setup is very simple. You have to just click over here. By default, some values will come, but all you have to do is, again, you have to change the setup. You have to click on this format. After clicking on this format, for this strategy, we don't need all these things. Okay, we need only the S3 and R3. So just uncheck all the unnecessary things from here. Okay, go to the inputs over here. Instead of traditional, see, there are various ways, I mean various types of pivot levels that FIRES platform provides. You have to select the Fibonacci type. Period doesn't matter. Okay, so you have selected that. The moment you do that, you will get to see S3 R3 over here. Just because we are using everything for 14, RSI is also 14, AO is also 14, hence it is advisable that a number of pivot backs and all you also check it as 14, although there is no much difference it shows. You are done with the setup. Okay, so let me click on the plus sign over here, and let me actually maximize the screen. I think that should be good enough. There will be people who are watching it in mobile phone. It will be good for them. So see, this is exactly how the setup should look like. Okay, 15 minutes candlestick, R3 and S3, Fibonacci pivot point types, the volume over here, the RSI, which is a 14 period and definitely of 35 and 65, AO, that is your awesome oscillator, which is like the green and the red columns that you will get to see, and DMI is definitely there, which you are seeing, where the plus DI is green in color, minus DI is red. Friends, that's all about the setup. This is how you are going to make the setup, and once you are done with the setup, you can actually start taking a trade. I know it's a little complex, but as you start, looking into your chart, and as you set your eyes, gradually you will be confident in taking it. Take this as a learning purpose. Don't take it as a tip. And as you know that I am myself is not a SEBI registered person, and whatever I'm sharing are just for educational purpose only. So take this as a educational purpose video only, where you can actually observe the chart in a little more better way of how to analyze the chart. That's all, friends. Nothing more. And along with that, I would like to, take you to this single slide where I have called out the details where you can actually get in touch with us. For example, we have our Telegram channel, and in the Telegram, it's not a channel; it's a super chat group where we have 2,200 plus people over there who talk regarding various strategies which is published in my channel, and they all try to learn together by analyzing the market in different forms. We interact in the traders destination forum primarily in English, because there are many people who doesn't understand Hindi or any other language. So if you are actually interested in joining this traders destination forum Telegram group, you are welcome. It's free. I don't charge any money for anything from anybody. Okay, I don't provide tips. I don't believe in providing tips, and hence whatever, please don't even expect that, because there are people who expect that if you join the forum you will be able to get some tips all levels. That we don't do. Yeah, we definitely do a little bit of handholding in terms of guiding the people through the strategy that we follow. For people who would like to open an account with Fires Securities, for them there is a separate group which is only for the Fires clients, because that's a little bit of extra benefit, a little bit of extra support. That's what people get if they open an account under Traders Destination uh, on Fire Securities. Apart from this, I have called out over here categorically whatever things you will get. Free steady support, definitely a high probability strategy will be given to you for free if you are opening an account with Fires, and thematic investment is something which Fires platform provides, and some semi automation templates and all will also be shared with you. Out of the whatever strategies that you're seeing over here in my channel, I run a weekend training kind of a program which is done on every last Sunday of the month. Only the first batch of this training was done. The second batch is going to happen on 29th of July. It's Sunday, and the duration will be from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. It will be a 4 hours session, and for sure in 4 hours you are not going to understand the whole of stock market. It's next to impossible, and neither I am promising that I'm going to teach everything about stock market in these 4 hours. But what I'm going to teach you is called out over here. There will be three sections: what is something that you must know, what is something that you must follow, and what is something that you need to do if you want to play smart. So there are certain tricks that I will be showing you, how to use Excel in, like using stock market, where you can actually play with multiple things. How can you create your own scanners using your Excel sheets? That kind of things will be shown. Some basic concepts like various candlestick patterns, trailing techniques of stop losses, and some indicators will be shown which will be beneficial for you for trades. So that's all, friends. That's about the awesome Nifty strategy. Keep watching this channel. If you're liking the content of this channel, please like the video and definitely share it with your friends and families. Happy trading, friends. Wish you good luck.